What's going on, everybody? We are back for another episode, another anime recap and review for Summertime Rendering. This is episode 3, and I have one piece of the puzzle, which is Lucas. Matt could not be here tonight. Maybe he'll be back for episode 4. What's going on, Lucas?
Oh, nothing much. Get into the craziness
Yeah,
of the rendering of summertime.
it's literally the rendering of Summertime. So Lucas, real quick question. I guess it's a good icebreaker. Compared to the last 2 episodes, how did you feel about this episode?
A tad bit. I wanted to say more confusing, but not more confusing. A tad bit of clarity exactly what the shadows are, how they transform, and while we still don't know a purpose of them, at least we get to see the menacing nature of them in this episode, which is something we had not seen fully yet. Not them outside of human form.
Right.
We were so accustomed to them in human form when they take over someone, but here we got the creepy moments of them out of human form. And then we kind of also get possibly the purpose of Shinpei and what is he meant to do with all of the information that he's gotten. And it confused the heck out of me because how young is Miho and why does he have a crush on her? I don't know. And then Tall Guy called him her brother. I'm assuming that was just a term of endearment.
Yeah. I do want to talk towards that.
If it's not, then I don't know what freaky little thing you have attempted to get me into here with this show.
Yeah, so from my understanding, Shin's parents perished, and he ended up living with Miho, Ushio, and then their dad.
Oh, okay.
And so he's technically the adopted one that's just living with them. But I guess that Mio developed feelings, which I had alluded to that like last episode. I was like, she definitely catches feelings. All the way down to, like you said, the very end of this episode where, his tall friend was like, you got to go take care of her. Like, she evidently likes you. And he kind of was like, well, if you don't, then I'll take care of her kind of thing. And then it became this weird kind of stepping thing. But even before that, in the beginning of the first episode, it was kind of like she seemed really taken by him. She was always blushing around him. It was just really weird. It didn't feel like a brother-sister thing. It felt more than that. But my thing is this weird to me is that I feel like he doesn't really have feelings for her like that. If anybody had feelings for her, probably the older brother. I mean, the older sister. I think he really did have feelings for Ushio.
I think we as the audience, I think we understand those feelings are there, but I really think he has feelings for Miho too, and not just a family. Like when he saw her in
the little
right before they went to the festival. The look on his face when he saw her was the look that they give when you see somebody completely different, when they're no longer the little kid that you see, and there's something else, and that's what it looked like there. He was looking at.
Yeah, I do think that he's maybe taken aback by her. Like, he's like, okay, but I think at the end of the day, where his real feelings lie is with the older, and even then, that's just really weird. But this is the weird thing, and I know we're jumping the gun a little bit, but did you notice how she flipped her hair over her ear? And when I saw it, it freaked me out because I was like, bruh, who is who at this point? Because Mio, at any point, at any given time, all the clone or the shadow has to do is just not kill the other one.
Yes.
And can just slip in and out at any time. Go ahead.
I'm about to say, and they do a good job of this episode of basically telling you there's no way you can tell a difference between the original and the shadow.
Not at all.
So this whole time, is she a shadow? And we just didn't know it. Like, it's so many questions, so many things brought up here by this episode. But definitely the hair flipping was a key part to pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah, it was the tail. But so in the beginning of this episode, Mio was like, okay, look, Shuri Shirio, I can't remember her name.
Did you say
the little girl, the little girl that was at the funeral? Shiro. When we saw her the first episode, she wasn't talking and she just wasn't communicating. But then it was really weird because behind her family was just really stiff and rigid and weren't moving either.
Yep.
And so we had talked about this 2 episodes back, like, well, maybe she was already copied and, she just couldn't eliminate her original body, kind of thing, or the original body perished and she already done this. Well, this episode, it completely confirms that not only did that happen, but she went back and eliminated her other family members. And that was one of the things that the old man said, that the shadows, they kill you, and then they proceed to kill off your family.
Yep.
And Shin was in the house, and he seen it, and he was like, "Oh, flip," And again, this is going back and forth in real time versus an extended amount of time. When we saw him later on, like, he was like, "Okay, this is how far we got." But then now he's back before they got to the apex. And so he went to the house and he was accompanied by, one of the neighbors, and they went into the house and they were kind of looking, and he saw what was going on. So he proceeded upstairs. Yeah. Now, when he went upstairs, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, it felt like a straight up horror movie, man. Like the way that they did it, it terrified me because like it was just nothing but open darkness, and then all of a sudden hear just a random voice just talking to him.
And then the flash.
Right. And he didn't know whether to fight or flight. Like it was like, okay, flip. She's already done copied me. She probably about to kill me. What should I do? But this is the weird thing, and I don't know if you have a theory on it or not, but I think at that moment, I think that he did get copied. I think that either one, he is the shadow and he doesn't know it, or like there's a situation where he got copied and he died. You know what I'm trying to say? But
then would that make him a good shadow? Because that'd be weird. Because while from the outside, you can't tell the difference between a real original or shadow.
Right.
We understand the shadow's intentions, though.
Right. But
we understand why he's questioning, like, am I a shadow? Am I real? Who am I? We understand that question. And we understand from that a quick backtrack of something that I need an answer to. And then we'll get right back into if he's a shadow or not.
You talking about Ushio, right?
No, that's not even a question I have.
Okay.
When he goes to the family home
and
he sees them, why can no one else see that but him?
Wait, I thought what it was is that he saw that in the cut, and the woman just didn't look over there. That's the way I looked at it. I thought it was that it was in the cut to the side.
Only reason I say that because if someone is investigating that the family is gone, wouldn't that leave you traces of that that they were dead? Or something horrendous happened to them?
Something terrible happened. Spontaneous combustion. Anything.
Could we be looking at a situation where, and only reason I also bring this up is because how quick it happened on the steps when he was approached by the 2 shadows right next to Shido. The 2 shadows right there. And the moment the old lady came up the steps, everything was gone. Right. But it was gone too quick that they moved that fast, or is it that he can only see it? Is it in certain forms he can only see the shadow? So and then it would explain the 2-eye thing.
Yeah, it would. I mean, well, yeah. I don't know. That's the weird thing. That's very strange. I didn't even think about that. Because when this moment did happen, when he went up with her, he saw the shadows to the left. Well, he was kind of looking over to the side, and she went the opposite way. And then he told her, well, I'm going upstairs. They're not in this area. and then he got flashed. I really do feel like in that moment he got flashed, and I think he got killed. It wouldn't make any sense.
Think about the other element here. Remember when Shadow Miho saw him for the first time and they were going to do something? She says, "Oh,
he's already something."
What happens if he's half original and half shadow? And that's why he can see them that way. And that's why he has two different eye colors that he just noticed. Wouldn't it be amazing if he was copied, but they couldn't copy him fully because something about him either didn't pass or it didn't fully take?
Originally, I thought that too, but if that was the case, I don't know why the Mio shadow killed him at that time, because if that was the case, then I would have figured this version shadow would have killed him on the spot. That's why I said I really do think he was copied, and I think he died, and then whatever copy he is, if he's the original or the copy or not, walked out after all that went down, so that it didn't look like anything happened.
But if he was a copy, they still wouldn't be playing the game of him then telling people about the copies.
True.
Because the copy would just have one purpose.
It's true.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that he's dead. I don't think at all it's that he's dead. I think he's something special. And maybe he's walking between both worlds, and that's why they can't copy him.
Yeah, because it was definitely flashed, for sure. And I was like, as soon as, girl, when she walked up on this man, I was like, I can't remember if she had a weapon or not. But I was like, he about to die, bro. And then it just all of a sudden cut to he was walking the old lady out. And
because remember when she came up the steps and they were gone.
Right.
Which again proves another point. She went in the direction that he was in, and she didn't see the outlinings of the bodies.
Not at all. So it's like, what I assumed is that he was the copy version and he got rid of the evidence, and then now he's walking back out unbeknownst to the whole situation. But then you're right, because why would he continue to make those moves forward? I don't know, though. I really don't know, because there was a scene where the chick with the boobs that he met with the glasses, she saw him talking to the little girl.
Yeah.
And from our periphery, from our vantage point, the main character never did that. He never had that conversation with the little girl. So it had to be a shadow version of him that had that conversation, but I don't know if it's him.
That's what I'm about to say.
Or is it that he's the shadow this entire time? I don't know.
Or is it that some of the things that possibly has happened in the loop, maybe he's been in the loop longer than what we assumed he was?
Now that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense. Because then you would see residuals of different places and different situations he's tried.
Because I think him talking to a little girl wasn't the only instance where it was something different than what we have seen before.
You're right, because when it was the second episode or the first episode, I can't remember, when the cop said to him, and it was the shadow cop too. The shadow cop was like, "Hey, you already talked to me about this morning."
Yep.
And he was like, "I did."
And then go back to the second episode where he didn't reset at the same place.
You're right.
He reset somewhere completely different.
And that didn't make any sense.
Again, it's little pieces here and there that you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't fully make sense. So if he reset at a different place, like what is that? Like, what is he? The point that when the Shadow Mio said, well, there's no need to take him because he's already, and it just didn't complete what he was.
Right.
But I don't think what he is a shadow. Because even if he was a good shadow, they would still kill him because he was a good shadow.
Right.
It would serve them no purpose to have him around.
Right. That's true.
Do the shadows know that he can reset? It's a bigger question.
This is what I think. I think that the Mio shadow knows something is up with him.
Oh, okay.
And I think that she's playing a long game because honestly, I feel like if she already killed the original Mia, which she may have at this point, we don't know. I think that she's really doing a lot of reconnaissance for him and because of him. I don't really know why, but she's dangerously close to figuring out something about him. More and more, she's getting closer and closer and closer to him. And we know that the shadow shows up sometimes. Yeah. If not always Mio. I know for a fact that sometimes it's the shadow. I just don't know when. I think I love that about this, though, that I don't know when. But there was a theory that we got to talk about a certain somebody. I can't remember who brought it up, but I'll pull up this picture right here. So the shadows, when the shadows die, what happens to a shadow once the shadow is dead? Right?
Yeah.
We saw the funeral in the first episode that Ushio was there, her body was there. And I think I asked the question that if Ushio had a shadow and Ushio's shadow killed her, why would she not have been like basically deaded? And you see like the little smudge mark, like somewhere, but we didn't. We see an actual dead body they ended up burying. And so I can't remember, one of you guys said, well, what if the real Ushio is still alive?
I think it was Matt.
I think so too. And in looking at the very last scene, we see clear as day a version of Ushio. Now, why she still got her bathing suit on, I don't know. It's been 2 days later now at this point.
Do you know what I also paid attention to?
What?
Ushio's message to Shinpei changed.
Elaborate.
This whole time it's been save Miho.
Save Miho, yeah.
She did not say that. I done forgot what the ghost said, but it was not save Miho. I think it was save yourself. So she gave a completely different message than the ghost that he's been saying when he goes back in the loop said to him. And I said, wait a minute, that's not the same message. Why would if it's a loop and it's a ghost in a loop, why would the message change?
That's actually a good question. I don't know. It was just really weird, the setup for that. Because with the setup, like, he was almost like drawn to go out into the... Why did he go all the way out there? Did he saw her in the crowd, right?
Yeah, he saw her in the crowd. And he went and chased after her.
Yeah, matter of fact, like, that's why Mio was pissed, really, because he kind of like forgot the whole situation about maybe a possible love, whatever. He ran right past her and ran towards Ushio. And he kept looking and looking. I can't remember what she said either. I'm trying to think about it, but he went all the way out there and he found her at the water. So do you think that's the real Ushio, or do you think that's a shadow?
I was trying to pay attention to the hair blowing in the wind to see if that was possibly a different one, but I couldn't even tell from the blowing in the wind if that was a different one.
Ooh, so hold on. There is some... Okay, I went to the episode and just looked it up. Remember, I think it was the second episode. After the first episode, it was about... Wait, no, it was the first episode or the second episode? I can't remember. One of the episodes was that, protect Mio. But she did finish off and close off on saying, don't forget me. Something to that nature. I can't remember if it was the second episode or it was the first episode, but one incarnation, like, she was like, don't forget me. And that was what the phrase that she mentions here, based on the wording, don't forget me. And so I guess it's just the other side of this. So now that he did protect me.
No. It's not don't forget me. Don't forget. I think it was is it don't forget to find me.
Oh, yeah, in the second episode. He did say, don't forget to find me.
No. In this episode, she says, don't forget to find me.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Don't forget to find me. So was that what they always said? Was that always the verbiage initially?
No, because why would he be looking for her?
True.
He believes she's dead.
Hold on, I gotta go back. So now I gotta go look for this guy's third episode. Hold on.
Because what would be the point of finding her if she's dead already?
Right, but you remember the very first episode, and it was just so off-putting because we didn't understand. We didn't understand in the very first episode that she was basically giving him her eye. I assume that's what I've always kind of perceived it as. Okay, so the verbiage is this: close your eyes. Okay, hold on. I know this is really weird, y'all. I'm trying to make sure I get the verbiage correct because we're trying to figure this out. I gave you a present. How many years has it been since you come home? Let's see. Since graduating middle school, it's been 2 years. Haven't been back since New Year's. Sorry. Give rewards to everyone when you see them. What do you mean? Ushio, aren't you? I'm not going. Oh, here we go. She does say it. She says, Shinpei, don't forget to find me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I didn't even catch that. Because remember, the first episode goes by so quick because the only thing you think about her saying is protect Mio. Okay. Yep. But yeah, she does say before that, don't forget to find me. That's so freaking weird, bro. That's so weird. Anyway, so do you think it's the real one? Or do you think it's a shadow? Because I'm really believing that actual original Ushio is alive. And what's there is the dead body of the shadow. Yeah.
Then why was she going to hiding?
I think because she knows that these shadows exist. Because she probably killed the shadow and ducked and covered.
But then how would she give him her eye?
No, look, all that I don't know about. the whole sharing of information, I don't understand any of that. But the only reason why I believe that,
and then why is she able to still be in the loop? He's still in the time loop.
He is. I don't understand any of that. But what I'm saying is that the reason why I believe that the body there is the shadow is because of the little girl's look and expression. I think now that we know the little girl was a shadow and she was looking right at Ushio's body, I think that she was looking at the shadow's dead body. And she was like, let me figure out how to deal with this. Because then at that moment later on, we see the flash and we know now that it was the little girl flashing somebody else. I can't remember who she flashed. Was it Mio during that time? Do you think it was Mio that she flashed?
It may have been.
Because I don't think Mio's shadow had showed up at that point. But then I don't know because I don't know who cut Mio's brake lines. It's a lot of unknowns. We don't know how many shadows are here.
No, we do know. Mio's shadow cut her brake lines because she brought it up. So in episode 2, Mio's shadow cut her brake lines because she said the attempt to kill her has already failed.
So who got copied then? During the funeral, who the flip got copied?
I thought it was the friend. The tall friend.
I did too. Up until this episode, I actually thought, I was like, man, you giving a lot of information to this dude, man. But maybe it was. It could still be because he ran away from them to go to Ushio. And maybe that was what he needed to do to get away from them. Because if he would have probably pursued that the rest of the night, he probably would end up dead, to be honest with you. Because I do think that is the shadow version of Mio there. But man, that'd be messed up if it was his friend.
And he's playing a long game of getting close to him and getting all the information out of him.
Getting everything out of this man. Like matter of fact, he got him emotionally compromised over Mio.
Yep.
So, and the weird thing was that, his dad, I think, did the autopsy on Ushio's body.
Yes, because that's when they brought up a strangulation.
Like, but he's the only person that said that.
Yep.
Nobody else said that.
And then
And
Ushio says, "Don't forget to find me." But so far, his whole message to Shinpei has been, "You need to only worry about protecting Miho."
right. And also, he was gone for a period of time in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really remember how long it was, but I feel like it was a whole day. And did he spend time with Mio as well this episode? Outside
Not really.
of, I can't really remember. But yeah, no, it's definitely something going on with the friend. I do love that the show is keeping a lot of stuff to the chest, and we still can't figure out a lot of it. But some stuff is starting to come to fruition.
Yeah.
But the whole Ushio thing is very fascinating to me. And I guess it makes sense why she's actually in the story, even though she's supposed to be dead.
Because maybe she's not dead. Maybe she's alive. Maybe she's a shadow. Maybe she's in her own loop. And her loop is repeating itself on top of his loop.
You know,
or maybe he's from another different loop, then she's from a different loop, and those loops are attempting to connect to one another, and that's actually her body that's actually is dead.
What if I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but what if these shadows are just actual versions of them from a different time period?
Like a multiverse?
The madness. The madness. Speaking of madness, and a shameless plug, you guys should go and check out our review of Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. We have reviewed it. We've given you the first reaction. We have a non-spoiler review that's right now available on TeamJVS. You guys should go and watch it. I think you would.
I mean, it plays a lot into that here by just us questioning, why is he in a loop? Is Ushio alive? If she's not alive, how is her shadow still doing all of this? Because the shadows tend not to have purposes for good. Their purposes are for evil. Like this flyer Sam is attempting to kill and destroy all his equipment to kill. But
oh God, what did I do?
Don't worry about it, because Fly Shinpei is coming to save Fly Miho. You're trying to kill him.
Yo, I seen a mosquito and that threw me all the way off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I don't play that. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh man. But again, it's just everything coming together, and you're kind of wondering who's what. Shadows aren't good. So how could this be Shadow Ushio? Because why would she be good?
Right.
Why would she be attempting to help out in any way, shape, form, or fashion? If it's really her, why would she be in hiding? Why would she be on the beach at night in a bathing suit? Why, when he saw her in a crowd, it was a flash? It wasn't like a real person passing by.
Right.
So many questions.
Yeah. So each of these episodes do come out on Thursdays. So if you want to watch it in real time, it'll be available Thursday midday, I believe. And we'll be back. Again, check out our review for Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness. Check it out right now. Yeah, check it out. Shameless plug.
And,
we're going
and everything else from Spy Family, this is another anime.
Yeah.
To The Baby, to the Under the Tuscan Sun, to
Under the Banner of Heaven.
Oh, dang, damn it. Under the Banner of
Heaven. The Man That Fell to Earth.
The Man That Fell from Earth. There you go. We got so much content coming your way. So,
yeah,
if you want to keep up on it, hit the notification tab. Yeah. Subscribe. Like every video. Comment on every video. Even ones you don't like. Like, I'm pretty sure lots of you are doing on that other review that Sam posted up here when you said that. So just let us know what you think about it. And we're going to constantly keep content coming your way, especially for summertime rendering, because this is possibly the best show that we are currently reviewing. And that says a lot, because every show we're reviewing is really good.
You guys, somebody make a GIF out of that. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate it. And make sure you put little subtitle lines that Lucas said that. I didn't say it. But I agree. Peace, people.
Filing out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.